Howdy, howdy, as Mr. Ron Placome would say. How y'all doing? Here's my latest take on Cenk Uygur's deep state segment, which is complete bullshit. So, I believe there's a deep state. It's tied to the intelligence community. They actually run the government behind the scenes. As Chucky Schumer said, they have, 7 ways from Sunday of fucking you over if you mess with them. Most recently, we had a former CIA operative get on CNN or MSNBC or one of those corporate outlets and say that the FBI is going to win the war with Trump. The guy who's supposed to be their boss. Anyways, here's my take on this guy. He tries to say that you're a crazy conspiracy theorist if you believe in a deep state or something along those lines. While pushing this Russia narrative, are the two connected? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. You make up your mind on that. Here's my deal. He said, yeah, in the 60s or so, yeah, maybe had a point. So what, Cenk? All of a sudden, the deep state existed in the 60s, and then all of a sudden, with the Warren Commission, it fucking disappeared? It's gone now after the Warren Commission? I believe that was in 73. Don't quote me on that. But here's the thing with Cenk Uygur. He's full of shit, man. Just because you believe in a deep state, just because you believe there is a shadow government which is making the rules behind the scenes, does not mean you're a right-winger. It doesn't mean you're a Trump supporter. Just because they want to talk about this memo nonstop, want to talk about this memo and say how it's bullshit and yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. That memo reveals to us that there's these secret courts that meet in secret and get warrants without any kind of evidence to spy on American citizens. That's an issue. That's some deep state shit. That's deep state. I really have a problem with Cenk getting up there and saying that and pushing the Russian narrative at the same time, which is a deep state narrative. Do I think the deep state hates Trump and they want to remove him from power? No, he's doing their bidding now. Everything from Syria, permanent, bear with me, I'm an idiot. Permanent presence in Syria now to still arming and funding neo-Nazi rebels in Ukraine, still building up forces on the border, NATO forces on the border of Poland and Russia. Trump's going along with all of that. They don't have a problem with that. I think the problem they have is that he might say something stupid that they don't want the American people to be, privy to. He might let something slip. And so they don't like the guy for that reason. But other than that, he's doing their bidding. He's doing what they want. They're not trying to oust him. The FBI just has a political stick up their ass for the guy, Because did they prosecute Hillary? No. Did they acknowledge she broke the law? Yeah. So if you get arrested for breaking the law and you go to court and your lawyer gets up there and says, well, you didn't intend to break the law, do you get to go free? No. And it's not up to the police or the investigator or anybody else to decide that. It's up to the courts to decide that. Well, Hillary Clinton never spent her day in court. That's neither here nor there. We're talking about Cenk's comments on the deep state. He wants to paint you as a crazy conspiracy theorist. That's some straight CIA deep state shit. Why is he doing that? Why did he feel the need to publish a segment specifically dedicated to making people who believe in the intelligence community deep state crazy? Now, why would Cenk do that? I don't know if you watch TYT, but that shit is getting on my nerves lately, because it should be obvious to anyone that there is something working behind the scenes. It doesn't matter what president we have. It doesn't matter if they're Republican. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat. It does not matter. The wars are expanded. Military operations are expanded. More coups take place. Shit is just business as usual in D.C. And it doesn't fit with their Russian narrative bullshit. Because even Putin himself said, yeah, I hear rhetoric from this presidential candidate and this presidential candidate, but here's the truth of the matter. No matter which one's elected, there's a guy in a black suit and a black tie who shows up to the White House with the briefcase, and the policies remain the same. So, I mean, you can take what you want from that. A lot of people say, all right, show up with a briefcase full of money. I don't think that's what it is. I think the deep state shows up and says, you're going to do our fucking bidding, or you're going to go the way of Kennedy. That's it. This isn't something that ended in the 60s. This isn't something that ended with the Powell Commission. Cenk Uygur, man, that guy is really getting on my nerves lately. He's doing a lot of deep state shit. They pushed him and Anna. I've watched segments of them pushing the deep state narrative on Syria, on fucking Libya, and now on Russia. And now he's getting up in front of his audience and telling them, oh, people that talk about the deep state, they're crazy conspiracy theorists. They're right-wingers. They're Trump supporters. No, not necessarily. Trump is a piece of shit. Right-wing policy is shit. I mean, but to deny that there's a deep state working within our government, to deny that there's an intelligence community that is out of control, that spies on every man, woman, and child in this country, that can go get a warrant to spy on you, to tap all of your communique without any evidence at all, without any proof or evidence that you're committing any kind of crime at all, that's fucking complete bullshit. That's against the Constitution. It violates the Fourth Amendment. We got people locked up in prison in fucking Guantanamo Bay without charges, American citizens. They're not all just crazy Arabs. There's American citizens locked up without any charges other than you're a terrorist. So that's that. So for Cenk Uygur to come out and spew some bullshit like that, it's just one more, how do I put it? It's just one more jab. It's just one more reason for me to just look at them and realize that TYT is completely full of shit. Thanks for listening to my rambling. I wish somebody else who can speak better and be more articulate than me would cover this shit, but no one seems to be doing it. Thanks for listening. Good night.